Now I'm going to check the stream on Twitch to make sure the stream is actually twitching or something. And it's working. We have sound. Yay. All right. And Dementia Radio now. And recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
You froze on me.
I did? God damn it.
Oh, wait, there. Okay, there you are.
It might be on your end because I'm getting good bandwidth here. But anyway, hi.
Hi. So what pre-recorded interviews do we have this week?
Oh, it's not switching to you. God damn it. Anyway, we have pre-recorded interviews with Via Bella and Greenfoot coming up later in the show. In the meantime, welcome to episode 831 of the Funny Music Podcast for Thursday, May 21st, 2026. The title of this week's episode is Awesome Fog. So, yeah. All right, let's do the catch-up thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
No, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to? And if it doesn't switch to you, I'm just going to pin you.
All right. Well, first of all, I guess I'll say I'll talk about what I'm about to do because this afternoon I drove up to Irvine, or drove down, I should say, to Irvine because I'm going to be spending the weekend at Kalani's place because we are going to see The Mandalorian and Grogu both tonight after the FuMPCast and tomorrow night after work. So we've already got tickets for 2 showings of it because this is the first time a Star Wars movie has come out while we have been dating. And we are in fact going to go in costume. So awesome. I'm going to be dressed as Luke Skywalker as he appeared on at the end of The Mandalorian season 1 with the all black outfit and the black cloak and everything.
Yeah.
And she's going to be she has 3 outfits to potentially choose from. The one she was saying she was going to be was the TIE fighter, because there are TIE fighter pilots in this movie. So yeah. So that will be fun. And I brought Qbert out here so that he can be here for the weekend. And so well, I guess this would be a good time for you to play that new stinger that you've come up with.
And now the continuing drama of Luke Ski's workplace.
Hooray! It has an official thing now. So just to finish the previous thought, so I don't get Memorial Day off. Everyone, who I talked to about, like, when I said, oh, I'm applying for a job at a postal facility, everyone said, well, that's cool because you'll get all the holidays off then. And it's like, no, it's in fact quite the opposite. They force you to work on all the holidays. In fact, they also force you to work on several of the days surrounding all the holidays. So it sucks. So I have to work Memorial Day, but they have decided to do they're doing some kind of big maintenance thing on the building maintenance on things in the building that, in order for them to do it safely, it requires shutting down power to the entire building.
Oh, okay.
And they decided to make that day the day before Memorial Day for whatever reason. So they basically said to us, well, all of you are going to have to write up a 3971 form to take that day off and use 8 hours of your annual leave, which I'm fairly certain they can't force us to do. It's our leave and we can use it or not use it however we want. So if any of us wanted to make a federal case out of it, complaining could happen. But the other thing is, for Memorial Day itself, when I have to work, because presumably the plant will be, working again that day, they would normally pay me time and a half, but they also had an offer where if you just got paid regular time, they'd give you 8 hours worth of annual leave. So basically that would be worth more than the time and a half. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that because I wanted to accumulate annual leave hours for my vacation later this year anyway. But now they're forcing me to use 8 hours of annual leave for Sunday. So it all kind of comes out in the wash, and I get a Sunday off. So since I have a Sunday off, which is rare for me to have the same day off as Kalani, we're going to go to Disneyland and spend the whole day there because we haven't had an entire day at the Disney parks in a long time. We had most of a day last month, the weekend of the big Barry Con event.
Yes.
Which for those listening that Barry Con is not an actual thing. It's just a nickname we came up with.
It was when a bunch of FuMP artists got together at Dr. Demento's birthday party / thing.
Yeah.
And now I removed the pin on you, and now it's not cutting back to me. So whatever. The freaking Zoom.
So there's that ridiculousness, but there nothing super major crazy happened at work this week, but there was a day that was kind of interesting because all right, because I have Wednesday and Thursday off, that means I work on Sunday and Monday. And Sunday, because post offices are open on Saturdays, sometimes we get a decent chunk of mail that keeps us busy throughout the day. Sometimes we only have enough to kind of process it for 2 hours, and then we're kind of left with the supervisors trying to figure out what to have us do the rest of the day so that we're technically working, even though there isn't much work to do or something. And sometimes they'll pull shenanigans where they send us to other parts of the building to work in other areas or whatever. But then Monday comes, and since all the post offices are closed on Sunday, Monday there's rarely ever anything actual to do. So that Monday is pretty much all about them figuring out what we can do. So this past Monday, I was sent over to this one area of the building that I had never. Well, I've worked there before, but it was just kind of a bullcrap situation of I know I'm not supposed to be over here, but I'm over here anyway, whatever. And they're making me cut open pallets of these bundles of poofy envelopes to send off to other places. And I did that for 2 hours, and I was whatever, it's my job. This is, the kind of stuff I have to do. Then I go on my break and I come back. And when I come back from that break, they say, "Hey, Luke, do you want to drive a forklift over in the STC area?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll go do that." So then I spent 4 hours doing that. Then when I was going into my break at, my 6:15, just before my last 2 hours, the woman who sent me over to that other area in the first place, this woman, I'll call her, Roberta. She's like, "Luke, after your break, you need to come back here and you won't be on the forklift anymore. You're going to be at the Arbus machine, and you're going to be scanning things at the Arbus machine. That's what you're going to be doing." And she seemed kind of frantic when she said it to me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, sure. You're a supervisor. I will do what you say, So I, after my break, I had to go and properly park my forklift where they're supposed to be parked when you're done with them for the day, and then grab my little magnetic ID badge and my scanner and other stuff I had there on the machine, and then go back there. And when I got to this machine called the Arbus machine, which basically is a large conveyor belt full of either things that are way too big for the regular machines or things that are way too small for the regular machines. And then they come down a belt straight down to me, and I'm standing where there's a thing and the scanner is above me, and I go beep under the scanner, and then I look up at a screen and it tells me one of about 20 different areas of the country it's potentially going to, and depending on what that word says, I either need to move it over here and behind me, over here and in front of me, over here and in front of me, or over here and behind me. So it's kind of one of four directions. So it's beep, okay, over here, beep, okay, over here, beep, okay, over here, and I only started kind of doing this in the past month or so. And the supervisors figured out that I'm particularly fast at it because, I'm fast and efficient because I have, a brain that can sometimes just zone out into, maybe not necessarily hyper focus, but beep, I'm doing a thing. I can just be in my own little happy mind world while I'm just going through the motions. So, so I get back after the break and because I walked away to do the forklift thing and come back, Roberta was already kind of freaking out, talking to one of my other coworkers, get in the machine and start scanning. Because apparently I hadn't been there right after the break to start scanning immediately because I needed an extra 2 minutes to walk over here, take care of everything, and come back. So she was trying to get somebody else in the machine to start scanning. And the person she was talking to, he wasn't a regular scanning person. Or at least he hadn't done it yet because he just kind of decided on his own. He started the same day as me, and he just has decided on his own. There's certain tasks that he just doesn't feel like doing, or he doesn't feel like it's necessary for him to learn how to do. So he's just kind of like, oh no, I don't do that. It's like your boss is telling you to do a thing. No, that's not a thing I do. It's like you're this leg needs placards. Well, who's the placard lady today? Have the placard lady make the placards. It's like, no, it's your job to know how to make placards, etc. So she starts, talking to him. As I'm walking over, I see her talking to him and him being like, oh, I don't do that. No, you need to scan it. And then she sees me and I kind of hold up my handheld scanner just to be like, yeah, I had to go finish what I started before. I'm here now. So I start scanning. And this woman the supervisor lady was just frantic all day or all afternoon. And then I looked up and I saw the numbers. And so it's been a 6-hour workday. And I see that just over 1,000 things have been scanned. And on a normal workday, that number should have been up near around 1,600 or 1,700 things that have been scanned. Mm-hmm. And she's all frantic. And I'm like, oh, I see what's going on here. Whoever was working the Arbus machine before I showed up for the past 6 hours
sucked at it.
were lollygagging and standing around talking or sitting on their phones or doing whatever else and not concentrating on doing the beepity 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 beep like they're supposed to. And now you're way behind. So you have done a thing that you're technically not allowed to do and pulled me off of another part of the facility's work roster to come over and work the Arbos machine because you know that Luke is fast at it and that I can bring those numbers up to a number that's minimally exceptional by the end of the workday. I think by the time I got done, I was near 1,400. I've had days where I was there for all 8 hours and I hit 2,200 by the end of the day.
Nice.
So, in a 2-hour period of time, depending on what type of stuff is coming down the thing, I can get through 550 things an hour as long as I'm just moving. But I just, and then later on, somebody else told me, one of the other people who's in a supervisory-ish position, she came and told me, that, you have the right to stand up for yourself. You're a regular mail handler now. You're not an MHA. If they try to pull you off of something that you don't want to leave, you can push back. You can tell them that you don't want, that, no, you're working over here today, blah, 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 So I basically said to her, well, I'm still on probation, so I'm, not going to push back until I'm done with probation. But guess what? Today is day 90 of the probation.
Yeah.
So when I show up for work tomorrow, wearing this T-shirt and wearing this hat and with this dude sitting on my shoulder, and they give me any crap, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. You've mistaken me for somebody who's not on probation or somebody that is on probation because I'm not on probation anymore. So I'm going to show up for the morning meeting like a freaking nerd because it's new Star Wars movie day and screw all of you. You can kiss my Jedi ass. So yeah. So just basically it's I also need to get a copy of from someone at the union, the actual book of the actual rules of the contract of the whatever, so that when situations like that happen again, I can be like, oh no, in the book here it says I don't have to go and do if I'm on the if I'm working the SDC area and I'm on a forklift and if they have work for me to do and the person who's in charge over there is thoroughly fine with me staying there and continuing to work there, you don't have the right to pull me off of that thing because of this rule and this statute and this blah, 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 blah. So that's the kind of, and again, I'm really hoping to have found another day job by like the end of October this year, because I have just, as I've said many a time, I don't want to work here the rest of my life, nor even the rest of this year. I want to get out of there before the holiday season kicks in November, and have another place to work so that I can actually see my family during the Christmas season this year. So, we'll see how things unfold. But yeah, that's the continuing drama of Luke's workplace. So we'll see if anything interesting happens next week. So anyway, after all of that brouhaha, what have you been up to this week, sir?
Well, first I'm going to pin me so that it cuts to me. Now let me remove the pin and see if it stays on me or if it cuts back to you. Nope, it cut back to you. So I'm going to have to keep the pin on me for the time being. Anyway, bit of trivia, just to follow up to last week's discussion about Doctor Who coming to AMC Plus. Did you know that the BBC canceled Doctor Who in 2022?
I did not. Huh.
Neither did I. Apparently, this was so they could get out of their contract with HBO and sign the deal with Disney. So they officially canceled the show in 2022, and then 2 days later announced the deal with Disney. So the show on Disney is technically a reboot, which is why it's called Season 1.
I was wondering why it was called Season 1 on Disney Plus. I'm like, this makes no sense.
So, to answer the question we were asking last week, AMC Plus will have the version of Doctor Who that ran from 2005 to 2022, and then Disney Plus will have everything after that for the time being.
So technically, the version that started on Disney Plus is the third technical iteration of the show.
Third version of the show. So, yeah. Gotta love lawyers.
The Shuey era.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, other than that, we had a birthday in the house. Connor turned 22 on Tuesday. So happy birthday, Connor. We actually drove down to see him on Monday because he couldn't get Tuesday off. So we spent the day with him, took him out to dinner, had cake and ice cream and all that. It was a good, fun day. And then last night, I went to what I believe is going to be the last school concert I will ever have to go to. Because Jeremy gave his final performance at the school as part of the jazz band. It was really good, actually. And then I think that's it. He graduates, and then that's it. I don't think he has another concert. And
congratulations to him.
Yes, and the big thing is that I think I mentioned last week that I had been booked on a shoot to eat pasta in the woods, and then the director got sick, and then we had to postpone it, and then they did some shooting without me. Well, they wanted me in it as well, so they asked me if I was available on Sunday night to go to Brooklyn and shoot this thing. So I was like, sure. So Sunday night, I went to Brooklyn, and it turned out not to be a video shoot, but a still shoot. He was just taking pictures. So it was a couple different projects. The way what's happening is this guy has a Patreon, and he creates things to mail to people. I didn't get a whole lot of details out of him, but the one he's working on now is like an alternate reality pamphlet showing a whole bunch of people who got caught eating pasta in the woods, because apparently it's illegal to eat pasta in this world. So he was showing me the photos that he took the week before when he did the other shoot, and so he was like, oh, we did this, and we did a test with what I want you to do, but I want you to do it. So I was like, okay. So we took a couple pictures for different projects while we were at the apartment. One was me painting bones. If you look on my Instagram page, you'll see a picture of me holding up a bone that's been painted. And And then he had me dress like a priest and give like a serene smile as if I was a priest. That was for something else that's going to be part of his other mailing. And then we walked over to Prospect Park and did the filming. And I crouched down in the woods in the dark with a trough full of rigatoni in front of me and just dug into it with my hands and shoved it into my face. And then at one point he was like, "This doesn't look messy enough." And he gave me some pasta sauce, poured it into my hands, and I just smeared it all over my face. And then he was like, "Yeah, that's good. Let's go back." So, and then he had me like look shocked while I, as if I was getting caught eating the pasta, and then pleading with him to not release the photos because it's going to ruin my life. And then we cleaned up and walked back, and I got paid and went home. It was the weirdest thing I've ever done for money. And I actually asked him at one point, I'm like, this is a Patreon, right? Not an OnlyFans? Like, this isn't a kink that somebody's got somewhere. But it was fun. It was weird, but it was fun. It's still cutting back to you. Well, we'll see what happens after the interviews.
The weirdest thing I ever did for money was I drew caricatures at a nudist colony party.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was in Madison. They called themselves the Badger Naturalists.
Nice.
And they had like cordoned off a section of a hotel and like put up like, stuff on the windows and doors so nobody else could see in, so they could all just hang out naked around the pool and whatever. And they hired me to do caricatures for this event.
That's great. I actually just recently found out there's a nudist camp not far from here. Like I've lived here for 25 years. I had no idea it was there. I've driven past it thousands of times. I had no idea it was there. Anyway. All right. Let's get into some music, shall we? First song of the week is the new one by Via Bella. It is a studio recording of a song that they posted last year, the year before. Here is Let's Not Fight About Star Trek.
When there's a show I like, seems like I never get to savor it. Before a week goes by and walks some random guy with the battle cry.
Which one's your favorite?
One sure way to fail my friendship test is to make me rank something from the worst to the best.
Cook, Cisco, or Pike, Spock, or Ransom, or Riker.
Why make me choose? Can't I just like what I like?
I don't wanna rank the captains. Can't I just like them all? Why insist on a definitive list? Are you trying to start a brawl?
Let's not fight about Star Trek. I don't care which one is the best. This incessant need to rank and seed just makes me wanna scream. So let's not fight about Star Trek. I can't think of anything more banal. They're all great, so I debate. Why can't we just enjoy them all and not fight about Star Trek? Bashir, Crusher, or McCoy,
Destroy my joy.
make me explain my disdain.
You're gonna give me a migraine.
You say this isn't hard, but it's not just Kirk or Picard. And I can't disregard that you forgot about Janeway.
I like the new and the old track. I like Lower Decks and Deep Space Nine. I like the odd-numbered movies. I like Shatner and Wesley and Bennett and Pine.
Let's not fight about Star Trek. I don't care which one is the best. This incessant need to rank and seed just makes me wanna scream. So let's not fight about Star Trek. I can't think of anything more banal. They're all great, so I debate. Why can't we just enjoy them all and not fight about Star Trek? must you ask such ridiculous
Do you like
questions?
Mooney and sing a Mooney song?
I know it's what nerds do, but I don't need to hear some
So let me explain
yahoo.
to you why your opinion is wrong.
I disapprove of your disapproving.
That doesn't make me a hypocrite.
You're allowed to like it or hate
Don't
it.
expect me to accept it as holy writ.
Let's not fight about Star Trek. I don't care which one is the best. This incessant need to rank and seed just makes me wanna scream. So let's not fight about Star Trek. I can't think of anything more banal. They're all great, so I debate. Why can't we just enjoy them all and not fight about Star Trek? Not fight about Star Trek. Let's not fight about Star Trek.
I am here with Via Bella. That would be Aaron and Rand Bella Via. How you doing, guys?
We're doing well.
And since you did that for your band name, flipping them, I am constantly saying the wrong one. Like, oh, the band Bella Via. No, wait a minute. It's Via Bella.
It's, we released a live album 2 years ago from some shows we did in Germany, and the album opens with someone saying, ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome Bella Via? So, which I thought was too funny to edit. I was like, it struck me as funny. So.
No, it's great. Yeah, it's a great way to brand your band. Ironically, is everyone messes it up.
Well, I just was hoping to get people to pronounce Bella Via correctly.
Yes, because I mispronounced it for about a decade before I finally heard one of you say it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, and I don't blame people because there's a town near Buffalo called Batavia, and it's like no one says Batavia. You know what I mean? So people say Balavia or Balavia. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about this is a re-recording, or actually a studio recording of one of the songs from your live album. Let's not fight about Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah, we debuted a lot of new songs during our Germany shows, and the goal was always to have a live album that have like a handful of songs from our first album, and then a handful of songs that we eventually wanted to record in the studio, and then have a lot of tracks that would kind of live on the live album forever. And this was always one of the ones that we had intended to record, and I had been pretty lazy about getting around to recording it. And I was happy with how it came through. I mean, in particular, the bass guitar by Mike Mallory, who has been playing with Luke Lamach for many years and has worked with Via Bella as well, I thought came out nice. And a guy named Mike Brunacini did the piano, and I think he worked on a track from our EP that came out last year, and I think we may be using him. He may be a named band member, at some point soon. So I'm actually, he's doing a show at Confluence this summer, so I'm trying to drag him into fandom. So
yeah, I was gonna. I'm not booked at Confluence, but I was gonna try to make it just because I enjoy that con, and it's been a long time since I went to a con just for the sake of enjoying myself. So
we're gonna be there.
Okay.
The same way, like we don't have any commitments. I'm just going to support Mike, who you know what I mean. And so there's of course Randy Hoffman has always puts up a really great set of music from Spanish music from all corners of the world, and so I'm looking forward to that. So it's in July.
So I may try to make it. I still have to look at this calendar.
I hope you can. That would be great.
But
Yeah.
So this song sounds fantastic. This is like a beautiful rendition of the song. Did you make any changes, like lyrically or anything, when you did the studio version?
Yeah, not a ton, but we there was the chorus of the song was something that Erin wrote and gave to me, and what I didn't know when she gave it to me was that she was kind of like sometimes we'll write lyrics and other times we'll write what we refer to as text. Like this is what I want it to say, but it's not as elegant as I want to say it. But I ended up just taking what she wrote and I set it to music exactly as she wrote it, and it kind of sang well. But the more we sang it, the more we realized, we probably should get some rhymes in there. That and so we ended up,
there's just a couple of little tweaks.
Yeah,
I had, that one I had, handed off. It's kind of partially done, but I was assuming that Rand would tweak it a little bit, and he did. It just took a while.
I know we made some changes to. That's what it was. Yeah, like when we first started writing this, weirdly enough, we didn't think it was going to just be about Star Trek, because it started out. Erin, wanted to write a song about how annoyed she was with the people that make these lists and they're like the definitive ranking of whatever.
Yeah.
When it's just my favorite, is really all they're saying. And so it was going to be about, kind of all Fanish things. And so originally we had, was it like a Buffy thing?
Mm-hmm.
It was like something about like
the Angel or Spike.
Yeah, Angel or Spike
versus Spike. Yeah, that's a big one.
Kirk, Sisko, or Pike was the original line. What's on the live album. But I felt weird that there was this one non-Star Trek line. But I'm like, what rhymes with Pike? And so we went with Kirk, Sisko, or Pike, Spock, Ransom, or Riker. So we kind of cheated the the second syllable there.
Yeah.
And we made a couple of other just little, little tweaks. And I'm sure you do this as well. I mean, the longer you go without recording something, the more you're gonna, tweak it. You'll just keep turning it and never quite be happy with it. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't make it any longer, did you? Because I don't remember the song being this long. I was going to go back and listen to the other one, and I just didn't have a chance to before we talked.
I don't. I mean, if it is longer, it's like just cosmetically because maybe we, like the music might wrap around a little more because of the
but you didn't add new verses or anything.
No, and that's the
Okay.
It's funny because someone, I was talking to someone about this a few weeks ago, and they were like, "How come you don't have a bridge?" And I'm like, "It's already 4 minutes long." I mean, like a bridge is for making a 2-minute song 3 minutes. You know what I mean? The last thing I want to do is make it longer. So,
and for the people listening, I had to go back and rename the old one to Live in parentheses because we had 2 songs going up on the FuMP with the exact same title, and it caused some confusion on the server. So the old one, I went back and retconned it, so it says Live now.
I apologize for.
No. You're not the first person to have done that. It's mostly on me for not, checking the link structure and stuff to make sure that we don't have 2 songs with the same pointers.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of cleanup stuff like that coding that I have to do to the site that I just haven't had a chance to.
Yeah. But yeah, we certainly, we're hoping to. Like I mentioned, we put out an EP last fall, and we're hoping to have another EP, if not an album. Certainly by spring of next year, maybe earlier. If it's an EP, it might be earlier. But we're going to be performing at Consonance in San Jose in next March. We're the Toastmasters of Consonance, which we're very excited about.
Cool.
And so our goal is to have a new project, released, by that con. So
I haven't heard of that particular con, and I'm always impressed by the new puns that conventions come up with that they use.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a con. This is it's the Bay Area Filk Con, and it's probably I've. This will be, I think, the 5th time I've performed at this con. So, I mean, considering how far away it is, and obviously I love this con a lot, or they love me a lot, or maybe both. But so we're super excited to, to be going, because we haven't been there. It's been about a little more than a decade since we were there. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was there a lot in the 90s and early 2000s. So we're very excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to ask you. So are you going to be recording more songs, like studio versions of the live tracks?
We're probably the only song from the live album that we know is going to be on this next project is So Say We All, which is one that, because I've already...
That's a great one. Yeah.
I did record it, and it's a fine version of the song, but Erin is not, super happy with it, and I don't disagree with her really. You know, I think it'll make a really nice alternate version.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
But I think we've got a better arrangement in us, and so you know, but you know, that's one that we're actively working on, and you know, well, there may be those may be the only two from the live album. There might be one other one, but otherwise, we're hoping to get, you know, brand new stuff out there. So we've got.
Nice.
You know, we got essentially an album worth of songs that are all of them are like 65% done. You know, we just need to give them that last push over the hill.
Yep. I know all about that. Like the last 10% of a project takes 90% of the time. So
Yeah. Yes. And I should also point out this. Going to make an announcement here. A FuMP exclusive announcement here is that later this fall. Ukla the Mock, my other band, will be releasing a 25th anniversary super deluxe edition of Smell No Evil, which is a monkey rock opera.
Okay.
There'll be a remastered version of the album with some bonus tracks that will be released, you know, generally to the world. But then there'll be a Bandcamp exclusive, like super deluxe set that's going to have 6 volumes.
Wow. Does it come with an actual monkey? I mean.
Yeah. Well, actually, we're Adam and I have been talking about like Kickstarter stuff, and we are going to have I have the audio of the CD release concert, and that concert in its entirety will be available as a Kickstarter exclusive because I don't think I want this to escape into the world. But we're also
I did that a couple times.
Yeah, like one of the. Well, like I said, if we were picking songs from it, it'd be fine. But doing the whole concert, it's like there's a couple of nasty moments, but one of the Kickstarter rewards we want to have is that like Adam will draw the Smell the Evil character of your choice, you know, because you know if you've heard the album or seen the album, it's the liner notes are full of illustrations, because there's characters throughout the story, and Adam did all the illustrations, so he can draw the character of your choice, and hopefully. Adam will probably limit what he's willing to draw. So
that sounds great.
PG. But so and like I said, it's going to be pretty outrageous, and we're hoping, since over the next 3 years we have Ukla has like the anniversary years of all of our albums are coming up over the next couple of years, and so we're hoping to release like super deluxe sets for all of these, and for you fans of physical media, these. Unless the Kickstarter does remarkably better than we expect, these won't be physical items, just because getting we can't mess with no box sets and all that kind of stuff. But we can at least get the audio out in various volumes, out into Bandcamp. So.
Cool. All right. Well, keep in mind that I do low run CDs, so if you need like 7 copies of this album on CD, I can hook you up.
Well, the CD isn't the thing. The problem is if it's going to be like a 6 CD set, you got to have a nice package for it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to look into how to do that, and I'm not sure how. But because if I can get a bigger printer, I think I'd be good, because the printer I have only does 8.5 by 14.
We could do it, and kind of like a like a DVD box, because they have you do like a whole season of a
one of those multi boxes
that fits like 6 DVDs or Blu-rays. So maybe you and I will talk about this later.
Yeah, because I can easily print an insert to put into one of those, and then the 6 different CDs, and maybe a booklet on the inside or something.
Folks, see what happens when you show up on the FuMPCast. You have really good ideas. That might. I will be in touch with you about that.
Okay.
Sure. There you go.
All right. So, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
I guess other than what I just played, I will say, in July. What is the weekend of Confluence? It is July. It's the weekend of July 24th in Pittsburgh. Is Confluence, which is, if you're a fan of nerdy music, this is a fantastic con to get to. Mm-hmm. Randy Hoffman is a friend of ours, and he's he curates and he gets literally it's like music in all different idioms and styles. There's certainly some filk, but there's also usually some. It's all over the place. A lot of nerdcore and. It's really fantastic. So I we will be there, and I absolutely recommend you make that. And then again, next.
I thought I heard that Ross Childs was going to be there performing, but I don't see him on the website, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I know a couple of people. A couple of his bookings did have to cancel, so that may be the issue.
Possibly,
there.
Okay.
I know Randy had said that he had that a couple of his bookings canceled on him for various reasons, but yeah, that's if you haven't gone there, it really is. It's a Gen Con, but it has like a very, very strong music track every year.
Yeah, Randy puts on a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then of course, yeah, like if you're on the West Coast, Aaron and I will be, at Consonance in March of next year, and Mike Mallory, who I mentioned, who's our bass player, lives in L.A., so he's gonna come up and perform with us as well.
Oh,
so
cool!
That'll be great.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Right.
And
Sure.
we will catch you next time.
All right. Take care.
All right.
This is the FuMP.
I'd rather eat a porterhouse than greens. Yes, I would. I doubt I should, but beef tastes good.
SAT's got a hold on me. I got a whole lot I don't wanna. I wanna put an end to DST. I got a whole lot I don't wanna. I'll just stay in bed where I'll sleep just like the dead till the clocks bring back ahead. Cause I'm seasonally affected. I call you a fascist, but you don't know what that is.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Go out, touch grass. Personal bias.
Time for funny music news. Something.
Just to follow up about a couple things mentioned in that interview, Rothschilds is definitely going to be at Confluence. Randy updated the website after we recorded that interview, and I did send Rand a quote, actually a couple of quotes, for doing box sets of physical copies of that thing. So it might happen. All right, in the news, Ogden Edsl has some new old releases coming up. These are recordings from live performances from the early 1970s that were long lost, but were recently discovered in the basement of a record store in San Francisco. These recordings feature Bill Carey, Richie Thiemann, Bill Frenzer, Bob Gainey, and special guest Steven Stucker of Airplane. He's the one who played Johnny. So they're going to be releasing one a week for the foreseeable future. Fish People of Baradanan is already up on Spotify. Tomorrow will be Dead Willie, and then they have a whole schedule of songs coming up at least through July. They are available now on Spotify and Apple Music and will be coming soon to everywhere else.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I listened to the Fish People of Baradanan recording earlier today. It's really good. So I'm going to play that on Manic Mondays next week to give them a plug. Oh, the thing is, I forgot to mention, if you search for Ogden Edsl on Spotify, you will not find it. You have to search for the Ogden Edsl Walhalla Blues Ensemble Mondo Bizarro Band. Then you'll find it. Or just search for Fish People, and you'll find Fish People of Baradanan. And at some point during that interview, Zoom started working again, so it's actually cutting back and forth between us now like it's supposed to.
Great.
Rubén Valtierra will not be joining Weird Al on his upcoming tour. He announced recently he was diagnosed with bladder cancer.
Oh, man.
According to a statement from Rubén, the cancer is very aggressive, and his doctors told him if he went on the tour, he probably would not survive it. So he has opted to skip the tour and get treatment. He says he is in good spirits and feels great, and we wish him a speedy recovery.
Well, does Stephen Colbert play keyboards? Because he's available.
He did mention, no, but Rubén did mention who was going to be filling in, but I forgot where. I don't think it was in this particular article. I think it was somewhere else. They did announce who was going to be filling in, but I don't remember who it was. It was nobody I'd heard of. Last week I mentioned Carla Ulbrich was going to be interviewed on WOMR. I was wrong. That's tomorrow. So tomorrow, May 22nd at 11 a.m., Carla Ulbrich will be interviewed on WOMR along with a few other people. You can tune in at WOMR.org. And I found out the other day, thanks to Carrie, who texted me about something, that most of the recent FuMP albums never went live on Spotify. 112, 114, and 115 never went up. 113 did go up, but was taken down for some reason. I don't know why. So I sent a support request into our distributor, and I'm waiting to hear back. And as soon as I hear something, I will let you know. Hopefully it's something we can actually deal with. And the FuMP Newsletter went out yesterday. Thank you, Lee, for putting that together. Covers the FuMP Volume 116, our new default song icon, and an upcoming Mikey Mason release, and more. All right, you got anything before tour dates?
Yes, I am just trying to get... read the tour dates. I'll read it after.
All right. Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Last Sunday of each month on Facebook, Lauren Mayer. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. And this week's musical guest will be Worm Quartet. Wednesdays in San Francisco, California, Ben Vicini. On the 22nd in New York, David W. Jacobson. On the 22nd in Oakland, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 23rd in Baltimore, Maryland, Bussy. On the 23rd on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab featuring the Consortium of Genius. On the 23rd in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody. Holy crap, the 23rd is a popular day to perform. On the 23rd on Twitch, Mikey Mason. On the 24th in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Carla Ulbrich. The 25th in Santa Cruz, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 26th in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody. The 28th in Oakland, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 28th through the 31st in Charlotte, North Carolina, Mikey Mason. On the 30th in Hyannis, Massachusetts, Drew Jacobs. And on the 30th in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. All right. What you got, Luke?
I am trying to... God damn it. Okay, can you, just go to, my Facebook page or whatever and find the thing I posted today? Because it has the full description in there that you could just read.
Sure. Luke? Did you see my comment?
No, not that thing. The thing about the video that Jeff Smith posted.
Oh, that. Okay. I
did see that comment, by the way.
Okay. All right. I will read your thing. You want me to read the whole thing?
Yeah, just read it.
Okay.
Well, no, you don't have to read the part where he talks about who I am. Just the first 2 paragraphs.
Okay. Back in 2008, documentarian Jeff Smith, director of Who Done It, the Clue documentary, set out to make a film about the world of comedy music, focusing on both the artists and the fans who support them. As part of that journey, he attended MarsCon, a long-running science fiction convention in Bloomington, Minnesota, where he interviewed several performers appearing that year. One of them was Luke Sunkowski, better known as the Great Luke Ski. Nearly 2 decades later, Jeff has come to terms with the fact that the larger documentary never came together, but revisiting a box of old DV tapes uncovered something worth sharing. What started as a 90-minute interview has now been carefully edited into somewhat focused 13-minute conversation. This is that interview. And then this is a link on YouTube to, I believe it's Jeff's... Okay, the channel is called It Looks So Fake Productions. But if you search for The Great Luke Ski, a lost 2008 interview from MarsCon, you will find it.
Yeah, and there's a couple other clips in there, of people in and around, MarsCon 2008, so it's a pretty cool little time capsule.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Jeff ever actually interviewed anybody else for that besides that one interview with me. Did he interview you at all?
I don't think so. I remember interviewing him for Manic Mondays, but I don't think he interviewed me for that documentary.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, it'll be great. Like 15 years from now, when an edited down version of my FuMPFest documentary interview gets posted, because because no documentaries about comedy music ever actually get released.
Yeah.
Unless you're Logan Whitehurst.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good one too. All right. Second song of the week, new one by newcomer Greenfoot. Here is Leftover Pizza.
Oh yeah, who's hungry, baby? I know I am. But sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I feel hungry for something delicious and nutritious.
It's in the fridge, in the Calvinator. I'm so damn hungry I can taste the flavor of the pepperoni. It's a taste of crave. It will take 1 minute in the microwave. My eyes get big as I realize there's a Coca-Cola to my surprise, and a slice of Hawaiian to my delight. And I start to dance as I take a bite. Leftover pizza. Leftover time. Last night's poke bowl, special fried rice dish, tuna casserole. Had the kung fu chicken, do yourself a favor, just a squeeze of lemon, you can thank me later. With some tasty treats, they just won't reheat, like McDonald's fries, they just won't repeat. You can warm them up, you can just forget it, go try it for yourself and you will massively regret it. Wake up in the morning and I'm feeling kinda peckish for a dilly pickle sandwich with a little bit of relish. Got a fetish for some lettuce with some stuffing in the package, better eat it quick and don't forget to please avoid the cabbage. Leftover pizza. Leftover time. Leftover Chinese. Leftover pie.
All right, I am here with Greenfoot. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
For the people playing along at home, that is not a fake Australian accent. He is 14 hours ahead of me, and we had to schedule this interview carefully.
That's right. I was willing to get up at 4, or was I?
No, you said that was too early. I was like, oh, I'm on the East Coast. Where are you? He's like, I'm on the East Coast of Australia. I'm like, oh, we got to figure this out. So, since this is your first time on the show, why don't you give us the lowdown, who you are, where you're from, what you do, all that.
Yes, I'm in Sydney, Australia, and I've played in a lot of bands over the years. Have a few guitars. I'm a guitarist, but this project that I've created is called Greenfoot with my friends. We've got 4 landscapers and 1 mechanic. And basically, we've written a bunch of songs.
I'm just getting it. It's Green Thumb, but with a foot, right?
It's right. Well, it's originated from the fact that me and the founder, the mechanic, we mow the lawns without shoes on.
Oh,
so
okay.
Our feet get green.
Isn't that dangerous, like with the spinning blades and stuff?
I found that we're earthing. We're getting back to nature.
Okay, fair enough.
The whippersnippers can be a bit more dangerous. They throw a bit more debris out there. But anyway, we had a bunch of songs. We've all got kids, and we sung these songs around the house, annoying our wives and children. And we went, let's go in and record these songs. And the result is an album, and basically allows us to do a bunch of sketch comedy off the film clips, and also we play live shows, and the response has been better than I thought, to be honest. Lots of kids turn up to the show, teenagers that are just there at a show to see other bands or at the pub. They end up loving us, and the parents obviously love us as well, because we're taking everyday scenarios and singing about them. So yes,
I love this, and I love that you have these songs to annoy your wives and children, because that's kind of how I operate too. You know, it's like
If you get an eye roll from someone, you know you're on something.
Yes, you're on the right track there. Oh, he's doing it again. All right. Yeah. Yep.
So this is very much almost a TikTok, Instagram visual play, really, because we're trying to get out a film clip a week, which we're about 7 weeks in to all the songs that we're doing, and that's where our real engagement's coming from. Like people are finding these songs and the behind the scenes hilarious, and the people that get it, they get it, and they go give us more. So we're in a good positive feedback loop.
Nice.
And yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear like a comedy group is actually doing well, you know, because it's so hard. So do you have a video for Leftover Pizza?
We do.
Okay, I will link it to your song on the site and when I find it, and I'll play it on the show rather than just the audio.
Please do. It is. We also run a video production company here, and this is really what we're doing is a make it so bad it's good vibe.
Okay.
So we're doing really bad green screen. We're doing. We're taking the piss. Do you say take the piss out of yourself there?
We don't say it here, but I think most Americans know what that means, mostly from British comedy TV shows.
Yeah, we take the fun. We take the Mickey out of ourselves. We take the fun out of ourselves, and I have a great pairing with my mechanic friend who is a real mechanic, and he's a very we're just creating, and we've got another 5 albums in us as well. This is
nice.
Like a tap that we've delved into, we've tapped into, and we're turning it on, and we're creating like no tomorrow.
I love that. So tell us about Leftover Pizza.
Leftover Pizza, in a nutshell, the song is about that feeling you get when you wake up in the morning and you realize there's leftovers in the fridge. I don't know. So when I have leftover pizza, I start to dance, and that's pretty much led to a 90-second song.
Yeah, I get the same feeling, and it dates all the way back to college, where it's like you wake up Saturday morning and you're like, there's pizza. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then it's almost like can I get away with eating it without anybody else knowing in the household?
That's usually when I opt not to heat it up because I don't want the smell to permeate the house. I'll just eat it cold.
Oh, I like it. But it delves into other foods as well. I think the first verse is about getting to that moment where you open the fridge and take a bite and you start to dance. And then the second verse delves into some other foods that might be you excited about that were left over. And also a little line about what foods aren't good to reheat the day after. So yes, my brother actually was singing that earworm, because it is an earworm. Anyone that hears leftover pizza, it becomes the thing that they sing for the next few days, whether they like it or not.
Yep.
And then he brought that into the band, and we jammed on a funky verse. I rapped over it. I'm not a rapper, and that's part of the fun of it as well.
Okay, yeah, I loved this. I loved this song when it came through right from the start, and I love everything about this project based on what you've said. But I have a question. So you're in your studio now. Normally in studios, there's like sound treatments on the wall, and you have Matchbox cars glued to your ceiling. Can you explain that?
Yeah. Well, if you're a creative like me, things come to you in the spur of the moment, and you just go with it. So I got distracted from something.
So you did that instead of doing something productive.
Yeah, I could have written 3 more songs, but I asked my son, I go, are you using these anymore? And he's like, nah. And then 1 led to 2, led to 20, led to 40. So yeah, he's got no more Matchbox cars. But again, as a a child in an adult's body. Whenever I'm in the toy store, I'm wanting to buy a $2 Matchbox and add to the collection.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have. I
Yeah.
don't know if you can see it from here, but I have. Yeah, you see right on the screen. I don't know if you can see my mouse even, but that's Castle Grayskull and a bunch of my He-Man figures on the windowsill there.
Oh, nice. Yes. Yeah, I've got some collectibles in here. We've got some Simpsons characters and some what's this? This is an original Bosk. Do you know this guy? A bounty hunter?
Yes, I do recognize him. Okay. I wouldn't have been able to tell you his name, but I do recognize the.
What about another bounty hunter, the IG-88?
Yes. Isn't that the character that Alan Tudyk voices?
Yeah, I think they did. He's in the Mandalorian, the more recent one, I think it was a few years back. But yeah, he had his own spin-off, and we got to see him, actually shoot the originals. He kind of just made an entrance and.
Oh no, it's KS20 that Alan Tudyk does, but Alan Tudyk is one of my favorite actors. That's all. So
yeah, great.
I follow everything he does.
But please go online and check out our Instagram. We've got it started with a song called Four Stroke, which is about mowers and the fact that I like my mower with 4-stroke petrol. And it has a bit of a diss at the electric mowers and mowers that are attached to extension cords, and 5 40-year-old guys doing a lawnmower dance, which is quite comical. So that's another one to check out.
That's great. I'd say I'd love to come see you guys live, but it's a bit far.
We might tour. It's on the trajectory, so
yeah.
We might tour.
When you get super big and you come to the States, let me know. I will definitely be there.
Excellent.
So do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, really? It's the Instagram and the TikTok page. We do have gigs in Australia. We've got one in July the 17th. We play the early slot, so we're playing at pubs with heavy metal bands and country bands and whatnot. But we like the early slots because when the parents can bring the kids, we get on, we blow the stage. We've got spinning guitars. We've got interactive songs about what's your Macca's order. There's a little dog there. I want to.
Yes, there's 2 little dogs here.
See?
You want to see?
Hello.
Come here, guys.
Yeah,
Come here.
bring your
Come
dogs
here,
up.
Bodie. Come here. This is Bodie. Say hi.
Hey, buddy.
He was tormenting Jax with the toy. Jax took the toy and ran. So if I can get Jax back in here, I'll show you him. He's smaller. Jax.
Okay. Or we've also got a song called Doghouse, which I don't know if you've ever been in the doghouse.
Yep.
Yes. So that one goes down well, and there's a bit of howling as well in that song. So that's all on Spotify and Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, I'll make a film clip today as well. So.
And here's Jax with the toy he was hoarding.
Hello, Jax.
He's coming from all the way from Australia to talk to you. And you don't
G'day,
care
mate.
as long as you got the toy. Yeah, okay. All right, well, thank you for joining us. And we look forward to hearing more stuff from you.
Cheers. Thank you so much, Tom.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Yeah, well, he is a madman after all.
And he's on the loose!
Madman wrote, As someone who for a quarter century has watched movies and TV shows because of Luke and Devo and many others in the FuMP, I don't mind conversations about what people are watching and actually appreciate them, since I can't follow every series on every platform. On a workday, I started an hour early and was stuck late. Someone on the second shift, while I was having a conversation with someone else about something I needed to resolve before I left, kept telling me to smile. Normally, I tell people I work so I can go to places where I do smile, but instead I told him what he can do to himself. The next day, I had to explain to HR and my supervisor why telling me to smile produced such a reaction, which now only 6 people, one of which is Luke, knows. While cleaning, I found a tiny envelope that fell between the kitchen counter and stove addressed from Tom Rockwell. Inside was the CogFest 2024 ribbon, which I completely forgot he sent, which is also a reminder that I should clean more often. And then he followed up with another comment that said, I apologize for my comments not separating into paragraphs. I do put a space in them when writing on the phone or a computer. Anyway, I am in favor of both the Now I'm in This Too album and the Luke/Devo combined 1-hour performance set. Thank you, Ken. And for the record, I am planning on implementing a WYSIWYG editor on the FuMP for these type of forms, so that for like the lyrics, especially for when an artist puts it in, so they don't have to deal with the HTML. I found a good one recently, so I just haven't had a chance to implement it yet.
For the record, there is, when I put out Needlessly Meta a few years ago, it was supposed to be kind of like hand in hand with another album I was going to put out, which is going to be, all of the covers I had been doing over the past, few years at the FuMP, plus, some new ones. So that album is still potentially going to eventually come out for me, and the title of it is going to be Nonstop Coverage.
Nice.
So, and during that interview earlier, talking with Rand about their upcoming projects, it occurred to me, to the best of my knowledge, nothing I have ever done has ever been released on vinyl, and I don't think releasing any of my old albums, as a vinyl release would make any sense. Because first of all, most of them are, have way more content than would fit on one vinyl album. So I had this thought of like, what if I did I know I already have the Luke Ski Top 50 poll, etc. But this would be like a poll with a more specific, mission statement, which is, which of Luke's songs is the most worthy of being pressed on a vinyl album? And then whatever it is, 45 minutes worth of it, I could potentially put out a vinyl album and just call it something like Vinyl Worthy or something like that.
Sure, yeah. And for the record, I know there were only 2 of these made, one of which was a raffle item at FuMPFest 2016, but this does include I'm Vamber Warrior. So
cool.
You have at least one song on vinyl.
Yay! Got to get that to my brother JT so that he can do like a hip-hop remix of it on his turntables.
That vinyl, which has never been played because I don't have a turntable. All right. Wacky Ben wrote, Devo, you think your dream was insane? I tend to have the most bizarre dreams since I was a kid. One that my dad enjoys because the whole thing makes him laugh was one time I had a dream where Cornelius from Planet of the Apes went apeshit, yes, the pun was intended, that he kicked me out of my old bedroom and locked himself inside and wouldn't let anybody in. After a while, as things toned down, I tried to go back into my bedroom, but Cornelius, who was still in my room, slammed the door in my face and yelled, "Get the fuck out of here." Then I wake up and the rest is history. Also, Luke, I named last Friday's episode of my podcast on the title of one of your songs because of Bob. As one of that episode, I played tribute to Bob Kavoian of the Bob and Tom Show, who passed away a couple months ago.
Cool.
Thank you, Ben. And
Lee. Let's sing a song about Lee. Let's sing a song about Lee. You're testing my ADD.
Eclectic Lee wrote, to answer Luke about Taco, he was a one-hit wonder in the U.S. and some other countries, but Puttin' on the Ritz was a top 10 hit in many places, including number 4 in the U.S. I used to have the album with that song and others, After 8, on cassette, and enjoyed it. I should seek it out on CD. He recorded a few more albums up to 1987, but they failed to chart almost anywhere. Thank you, Lee.
Cool.
And over on YouTube...
A-Log! Oh my god, it's you, not again!
A-Log wrote, yes, listening to the past shows on the Dr. Demento website was going to be my second method of jogging my memory. Thanks for the reminder, guys. Also, how can Bob even take out a loan? He has no arms. I've seen the little guy at FuMPFest back in 2021. He ain't got no arms to speak of. And finally, thanks for reminding me that Danny Rocket was in Bad Teenage Mustache. I was trying to figure him out since I saw his cover of Send Me to Glory in a Glad Bag on the tribute album. Yeah, Danny specifically didn't want that song credited to Bad Teenage Mustache, but he didn't say why. I actually went back and looked at the email chain from back then when we were producing this, and he just said he wanted it credited to himself, and I didn't press the matter, so... All right, that's all the feedback we got. So...
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job. Yeah.
Tomorrow's song is by Marion Rosen. And Tuesday's song...
Is it the song? Is it the song I think it is?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And Tuesday's song is by the Belle Isle Rats.
Yay!
And next
the
week's
Bellavia Isle Rats.
next week's Spotify playlist topic is Awesome Fog. No. Next week's playlist topic is cities and states, like we talked about last week. And in fact, I've already set it up and let it go, so it's already live. All right. You got anything else?
I recorded the next episode of Animation and Stuff with my special guest, my roommate, Santana, and it's wacky.
Awesome.
She started off by saying she wanted to play a drinking game while you were recording, and the only alcohol we had in this house was this tequila from like Trader Joe's that had been sitting there forever, never opened, and we each got to the point where we each had to take like one drink of it, and like it was so bad. We were like, okay, that's it, drinking game over. But it gets wild and wacky. So I'm not sure exactly when that's going to come out because I should probably mention this too, in case this is a factor that makes me miss next week's episode. I have been on Sunday when I'm at Disneyland. I have to call a number from the Los Angeles courthouse to find out if I'm going to be on jury duty next week.
Oh,
so
neat. Okay.
So it'll be neat to potentially, get on a jury and get paid the same amount of money at work I would have normally gotten paid to sit there and not work. So most people try to get out of jury duty. This time I think I might be, angling to get jury duty.
Yeah.
But, I might not even get called in at all. But the point is that, Thursday I might, between jury duty and traffic, I might not make it to the show. So that's a thing. But anyway, and I also got to get the rest of my Patreon stuff done for the month of May. So I'm hopefully going to get that and all the other content out for everybody. So if you're one of my patrons, go leave comments on things, please. Thank you.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and then there was Bia Vella or Vella Bia or both, and other people.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons Share-alike license. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Shout it to random people on the street. And be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
"This is the way. I have spoken."